What's up, everybody? It's great to connect again today. It's 6:30 where I'm at on a Tuesday afternoon, Cinco de Mayo. I don't know how many people are going to get on tonight. I know it's probably a busy night. I'm sure everybody's eating tacos and drinking margaritas, but uh, I wanted to connect with everybody and just kind of share a few things that were on my heart and see if they may relate to anyone. In the title, I put, "What do others think about you, and does it matter?" And to be honest, because I think a lot of us live our lives concerned about that. Oh my gosh, Aaliyah, you're funny. Gotta love having a cool wife like Aaliyah. Oh my gosh, I'm not even looking. You're gonna distract me. I can't read those comments. Um, so so um, one thing that held me back early on is is the fear of, I guess, lack of social esteem, worried about, what others may think. Hey, Lisa, what others may think about me doing something that may be a little against the grain or um, I wouldn't say extraordinary, but definitely outside of the norm. As far as building something that it's not traditional. Typically we're taught go to school, get good grades, go to work, get a good job, work there your whole life type of thing, and to dream a little, to go against the masses or observe the masses, do the opposite. When you do that, typically people, they judge. Some people think they're too cool. People think, oh, you're really going to try one of those things, those home-based businesses? Oh my gosh, uh-oh. You get some of that. And sometimes they won't say it to your face, but you can sense it intuitively. You can feel the energy when you're talking to somebody, like they're, I don't know. I don't know how to really explain it into words, but some of you guys may know what I'm talking about. And early on, I was always concerned, like, man, what do they really think about me? I'll tell you a story, and the person who said this may watch this video. They may not. He'll know who he is. I'm not going to call his name out. Just be respectful. And it wasn't nothing like, he wasn't trying to like be ugly to me. But when I was working for the state police, probably I guess maybe a month or two after I joined uh, the business that I'm in and got involved in, a home-based business, direct sales, network marketing type of thing, I was excited. Like, I had big dreams. Like, I'm thinking, like, my life's about to change, which it did, and which it has, obviously. But this was like month one, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in. And we were in a shift meeting for the state police, and like, so there, you got to picture like a big boardroom type of thing, 15 troopers in there. And my portable radio holster broke, and it was broken. And I said something in the meeting. I told, I guess, the lieutenant running the meeting. I said, hey, I'm gonna need a new radio holster. Mine's broken. And this guy, I'm in the back of the room, and I say this to the front of the room. Well, the guy's in the front of the room, and he turns around and he says, oh, that's all right, Weeks. He got, we kind of address people by their last name sometimes. And he goes, that's all right, Weeks. He goes, when you're a millionaire, you can buy all the radio holsters you want. And just about everybody in the room started laughing. Not laugh too. I mean, but to be honest, to be transparent, it got me pretty good. And like it hurt a little bit, hurt my feelings a little bit. And I went and got into my unit, my state police Tahoe, after the meeting, and I sat there for a second and I questioned, what I was really doing. Like, am I making a fool out of myself? Like, what am I doing here? Like, and I was like kind of at a fork in the road at that moment, and I was like, should I really continue doing this? Is this really gonna work, or am I just an idiot and just buying into some pipe dream? And I turned on some personal development. Luckily, my mentors were like, feeding me audios and stuff to listen to. I think it was one I listened to by Jim Rohn. And, you know, something inside of me just kind of clicked. It was like if you can imagine taking a 55-gallon drum of fuel and dumping it on a fire that was inside of my gut. That's exactly what happened. I knew it was this. I knew it was me versus everyone who didn't believe in what I was doing, and they were either going to win, and by them winning, I mean me quit what I was doing and get back to reality, so to speak, become just jump on the mediocrity bandwagon and like, yeah, that's silly to dream like that. Who am I to think I could, you know, do something like that? Or I could say, you know what? Throw up half a peace sign and say, you know what? Screw it. Like I'm going to make it happen, and I'm gonna prove them wrong and prove myself right. I'm a huge Frank Sinatra fan, and one of his famous quotes is he says, the greatest revenge is massive success. The best revenge is massive success. And I was like, I gotta do it. Like I gotta make this happen. And it was one of those moments, those pivotal moments where I was like, it's on. Like nobody's gonna stop me. And I think that made a big difference in where I ended up, honestly. And he was a friend, and he was just making a joke, and he wasn't trying to be disrespectful to me. And Joe, if you're watching this, I'm not speaking negatively about you whatsoever. Uh, but I will tell you that in the moment, it was a tough one. But here's what I've come to realize, and I'll hop off of here. I'm not going to keep you guys on here all day. Oh, and by the way, shoot me a message. Let me know where you're calling in from. That was pretty cool yesterday. I saw people all over the country, and if you're watching this on replay, post replay, and if you want to share it, if you think somebody could get value from the story, feel free to share it. But you don't have to. It's up to you. Um, but what I realized was this. I said, number one, I've never met a successful hater in my life. I've heard Peter say that before. I mean, it's true. They don't make statues of critics, right? What I decided to do and pursue was not average. It was not, most people don't, go that route. But if I didn't want to do something that everyone else was doing. I didn't want to live like everyone else lived. One of the things I wrote on my bathroom mirror, I heard Robert Faison say this very early on in my business, and I wrote it on my bathroom mirror with a dry erase marker. It said, I'll do today what others won't so I can live tomorrow like others can't. Or I'll do today what others won't so I can live tomorrow I'll do today what others won't so I can do tomorrow what others can't, or something like that, something along those lines. And I had it on my mirror with a dry erase marker, and I just saw it every day. Every morning when I brushed my teeth, every night before I was going to bed, I was brushing my teeth, and I looked at it, and I'm thinking, if I want to live like no one else lives, I have to live like no one else is living. I have to do something different. If I want the next 6 years to be different than the last 6 years, I have to do something different. And this was different, building a home-based business, going, when everyone has those misconceptions, oh, it's a triangle deal, or the guy at the top's making all the money, and all, people just, there's so many people are so ignorant to this profession that you do take on a temporary lack of social esteem. You do have to kind of prove those people wrong, whether it's your close friends, family, and say, hey, look, this can get the results if you treat it like a business and not like a hobby. If you don't get that lottery ticket, I'm telling you, you stick with it long enough. And I tell people sometimes, like, you have to go all in. You have to stick with it long enough, because if you quit, which so many people do, and that's why it has the stigma that it has, is because it has such a low bearing of entry, and because it's so easy to get started, it's also easy to quit. What's easy to do is easy not to do. Eat an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but how many of us ate an apple today, right? It's just, so it's not like you're dropping $150,000 on a brick and mortar business and you have to dedicate 3 years to your life to make that money back, or 4 years, or otherwise you're out a significant amount of capital, right? It's not like that. You're dropping a few $100, $1,000, a couple $1,000. It's like, not that big of a deal to walk away from that. Or if the benefits or the service that you're purchasing mitigates the risk, then you just use that part and you don't worry about building a business, and you're just like, throw your hands up, whatever. A little adversity, a little bit of obstacles, and you're like, I quit. It's easy to do. And, I thought about that, and I think that's why a lot of people don't stick with it. And what they'll do is they go to work and they're like, oh yeah, that team deal, or that, oh yeah, I did that, or it didn't me. And people accept everyone else's opinion, and it's so easy to buy into someone else's opinion, especially when you know and trust that person. But I always say, if you're willing to accept someone else's opinion about what you're doing, you better be willing to accept that person's lifestyle. And unless they're living the type of life you want, live in the house you want, drive the car you want, have the results you want, you might not want to take their advice, maybe, But it's easy to do, especially if you've grown up with that person or know that person, or that person has the same last name as you. But another thing that I realized that's really important to know is that people that spend their entire life worrying about what everyone else thinks of them, when they die, no one remembers them anyway, because they spent their entire life worrying about what everyone else thought about them. Does that make sense? When you blend in, you do exactly that. You don't stand out. You become average. Think of how many people are going to cry at your funeral. Think of how many people actually matter as far as your life. Think of the biggest factor on whether or not how many people show up to your funeral is the weather. It's the weather. Does it really matter what anyone thinks about you? Ask yourself. And a lot of us, we want to fit in. We want to be liked. It's a natural thing to want to do that. But if you think about it, does it really matter? When you're on your deathbed, and I may have mentioned this before, but are you really going to think about the things that you did, or are you going to consider all the things that you didn't do, all the chances you didn't take, all the risks you should have taken, all the people you could have impacted, the legacy that you could have left? And I don't believe when we get advice from people that may care about us, or they think they know, and a lot of people just don't know what they don't know, but they have our best interest at heart when they tell us, hey, you should do this, or maybe you shouldn't do that. Or they don't just say, they're not maybe open to the idea, but maybe tell you why you shouldn't be doing it either. And it's like they think they're giving you good advice. But again, look at their life. Do they have time and money? Are they living the life that they want? Do they live a fully autonomous lifestyle? And now, first of all, success has nothing to do with how much money you make. And I never ever want to come across that I feel that way. Earl Nightingale says success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Meaning, I see Carrie on here, if you're teaching theater and arts, if that's what you love to do, then you're a success. And he impacts thousands of people through that art and through his teachings. Then you're a success. It has nothing to do with the amount of money you make. It has nothing to do with that. If you're a teacher and you love to teach, if you, are a firefighter or whatever you are, and then that's what you enjoy, and intrinsically that's what you want to do with your life, then you're a success. It has nothing to do with the amount of money that you earn. But there are lots of people that are not fully engaged at work, that would rather be somewhere else than warm in a chair for 8 hours, and don't like to be told how to dress, how to act, when they can go pee, when they can go eat, and how to live their life, and when to show up, when they can go home, when they can see their family, when they can go on vacation. They don't want to live that way, but they do it that way because they feel like they don't have a choice. They feel like they have to be under someone else's control. When I don't believe that's the case. I just don't believe that by design that we are meant to just go to work, pay bills, and die. Like, that's just life. That's just what you're supposed to do. I do not even a little bit do I agree with that. So whatever it is in life that you want, or that you desire, I just feel like you should spend the rest of your natural life going after that, regardless of what it is. And I think if you live your life that way and you just figure out, hey, this is what I want. I don't care what anyone else thinks about it. This is how I want to live my life. And you do that with integrity and just, you know, and consider the impact that you're having on others, but also consider your own happiness too along the way. Don't live a miserable life to please others. Um, do you, do you, and think about, hey, these are the things I want. Maybe it is, I do want to earn a lot of money. That way I can give to more people, or provide for my family the way I want to provide, or create a business that has a leveraged income versus a linear income, so that I can have more time with my family or have more time with my kids. I can, say prayers with my kids before they go to bed at night, and also be there in the morning to bring them to school, and then also be there during the day to go see, their uh, dance recital, or if they're a star in the play, to go watch them and not have to be at work when those things come up. There are ways to accomplish whatever it is that you want. This multi-trillion-dollar computer between your two ears, that's going to determine how you perceive life. Life is not the same for everybody because it's the lens in which we see it through, and it's how we think. It's not going to be the same for one person as it is for the other person. What you expect is what you're going to get. How you visualize it is what it's different. People have different paradigms on how they see life, and it's all determined on how you think. Every person has the same amount of time, 168 hours in a week. How they perceive this life and what they expect to accomplish is how they're going to live it. So many thoughts go through our mind each day, but everything that you can see from where you're sitting was once a thought. This chair that I'm sitting in, every curve, every bit, the fabric, the design, someone thought of it before it manifests into the physical equivalent, right? So that's life. It's anything. So it's like there's so much power in our thoughts. So we should really take inventory of what we're thinking about each day and really consider what we're thinking about and eliminate the thoughts that don't serve us in a positive way, and just believe bigger. If I could say anything today, I'd say believe bigger much faster, and don't give a what about what anyone thinks of you and what you're doing. Just live your life the best you know how and for the right reasons, and do it with integrity so that you can reach that full potential. But do you, and do what makes you happy, and do things that are going to be fulfilling. And I've noticed throughout the different things that I've done, however you can serve others and make a positive difference is so rewarding, more than personal gain. But when you can do something that helps others, and then you're compensated according to that, or you can work in a way that benefits others and yourself to where everyone wins, there's not much that can top that. When you can find that type of opportunity where you can impact others, expand your territory, create a legacy for your family, get time to go with some money. I know people that have a lot of money, but very few of them have a lot of time. There's a lot of people that have a lot of time, they just don't have a lot of money. I heard Brad say this a long time ago, and it's just, I didn't have any time or any money 7.5 years ago. But you can definitely have both. But you can't trade time for money and have both of them. That linear income model is really hard to gain the time and the money at the same time if you're trading one for the other. But there are ways to leverage that and without the risk of traditional business. But I guess I'm biased because I've lived a certain way. I know this is not theoretical for me. The things that I speak about, it's next month marks 6 years since I've had a job, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Regardless of the amount of earnings, that don't even matter. It's just the freedom. I would never trade it. But I've been on here a long time, so I'm gonna hop off. Thank you guys for tuning in. Blake Williams. Sometimes to change your life, it can take years, months, or maybe just weeks. Changing lives every day. Keep it up, bro. Thanks, man. I mean, it means a lot. All your guys' comments mean the world, and yeah, I don't take them lightly. So you guys have a great night. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I guess I better go in to my beautiful wife, our Mexican food and margaritas. We're celebrating here at home, and I'm thinking about all you guys. So y'all have a great night. Love you guys. God bless. Let's go make a difference and impact lives. That's what it's about. Bye, guys.